I'm sitting in the sleek conference room of Vantage Solutions, the place I've bled for over a decade, when Gregory Holt, the new VP of Sales, slides a termination notice across the polished mahogany table. The guy's 38, all custom suits, and gelled hair, looking like he stepped out of a Wall Street audition. His smile's thin, practiced, like he's selling me a used car instead of torching my career. "We need blood new to hit bigger targets, Nathan," he says, voice flat, as a Kansas highway. So I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, the guy who built this company's client list from a handful of mom-and-pop shops to national accounts worth millions. And now, this slick nobody's telling me I'm done. The paper sits there, his signature scrawled like a middle finger. My gut twists, not from shock but from the betrayal, raw and jagged, like a blade slipped between my ribs by someone I trusted. 10 years, late nights, red-eye flights, missed Little League games, all for Vantage. I landed Marcus Tate's manufacturing. Empire when our competitors laughed us off. I doubled Ellen Harper's contract while the recession gutted everyone else. My portfolio's 40% of their revenue, and they're cutting me loose like I'm dead weight. The air feels thick, like I'm breathing through a wet rag. Gregory's still talking something about strategic realignment, but it's white noise. My mind's replaying every handshake, every deal, every promise from CEO Victor Ramsey that I was family. I stare at the paper, my name typed in cold Arial font. I want to flip the table, shove it into Gregory's smug face and demand answers. Why me? Why now? But I don't. My hands stay steady, even as my pulse hammers like a jackhammer. This isn't just a firing, it's a gut punch from a company I built with my own sweat. Victor's not even here, probably glued to his phone, oblivious, while his new golden boy carves me out. I think of my wife, Emily, waiting at home, and my kid, who'll ask why Dad's not at work tomorrow. The weight of it all presses on my chest, a mix of rage and disbelief I can't let spill over. Gregory leans back, expecting me to beg or argue. I don't give him the satisfaction. I meet his eyes, those pale blue slits that don't blink, and see nothing but a corporate drone doing what he's told. He doesn't know the clients I've spent a decade earning trust from. He doesn't know the late-night calls, the golf games, the promises I kept when Vantage was just a scrappy startup. He thinks I'm replaceable, a line item on a spreadsheet. That's his mistake, but I'm not telling him yet. The betrayal burns, not just from him, but from Victor, from the whole machine that chewed me up and spit me out. I slide the paper back, unsigned. "We done?" I ask, voice low like I'm asking for the check at a diner. He nods, surprised like he expected a fight. I stand, grab my coat, and walk out, the glass door hissing shut behind me. My heart's pounding, but my face is stone. This isn't over, not by a long shot. They just lit a fire they don't know how to put out. The conference room door clicks shut behind me, sealing off Gregory Holt's smug face. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, and I just got canned from Vantage Solutions, the company I carried on my back for a decade. My boots echo on the polished floor as I head to my office, or what's left of it. The sting of betrayal sits heavy, like a lead weight in my chest, but I don't yell or curse, I can't. It's like my body's on autopilot, moving through the motions while my mind's stuck on a loop. 10 years, gone, just like that. I push open my office door. The space feels smaller now, the walls closing in. My desk's already half cleared from last week's renovation. I grab a cardboard box from the corner, the kind you'd use for a garage sale, and start packing. A framed photo of Emily and our son at the Grand Canyon goes in first, their smiles a quiet ache. Next, a chipped mug from my kid's art class. The glaze uneven but proud. A leather notebook, worn from years of jotting client numbers, slides in last. Each item feels like a tether to a life I thought was mine. Sarah from accounting passes by, her heels clicking. "Nathan, you moving offices?" she asks, eyebrows raised, clueless. "Something like that," I mutter, keeping my voice steady, like I'm commenting on the weather. She nods and scurries off, leaving me to the silence. I don't want pity. Not from her, not from anyone. The hurt's there, sharp as barbed wire, but I swallow it down, let it coil in my gut where no one can see. I lock my drawers, unplug my monitor, and wipe a smudge off the screen with my sleeve. Small moves, deliberate, like I'm assembling a rifle. My hands don't shake, but inside I'm a mess. Part of me wants to storm Victor Ramsey's office, demand he explain why he let this happen. He's the CEO who shook my hand 10 years. Caldwell promised me a future. Now he's nowhere, probably scrolling stock tickers while I'm boxing up my life. The thought makes my jaw tighten, but I keep moving, keep packing, keep breathing. In the elevator, Victor's there, nose buried in his phone. I stand next to him, box in my arms, close enough to smell his overpriced cologne. He doesn't look up, doesn't notice the guy he just let get gutted. The doors ding open and he strides out, leaving me in the steel box alone. I don't call after him. What's the point? The pain's not his to carry. I walk to my truck, the parking lot grey, under a cloudy Missouri sky. I slide the box into the passenger seat, climb in and grip the wheel. No radio, no calls, just the hum of the engine. My knuckles whiten, but I don't punch anything. I just sit, letting the weight of it all settle. 10 years of loyalty, traded. For a pat on the back and a pink slip. I start the engine and pull out, the road stretching ahead. I'm not broken, not yet. Something's brewing inside me, quiet but fierce, waiting for the right moment to rise. The truck rumbles out of Vantage Solutions parking lot, my cardboard box rattling on the passenger seat. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, just axed after a decade of grinding for a company that hung me out to dry. The Missouri skyline blurs past, but my mind's not here. It's slipping back, unspooling memories like an old VHS tape. 10 years ago, I wasn't hauling my life in a box. I was shaking hands with Victor Ramsey in a greasy diner, the kind with cracked vinyl booths and coffee that tasted like motor oil. He leaned across the table, eyes sharp, and said, "Nathan, you're the guy who'll put us on the map." I believed him. Hell, I built that map. Back then, Vantage was a scrappy outfit, barely a blip in Kansas City's financial scene. I signed on, fresh from a dead-end gig at a rival firm, hungry to prove myself. My first client, a local tool shop, trusted me because I showed up, listened, and delivered. That win snowballed. I landed Marcus Tate's manufacturing giant, sat through his kid's piano recital to seal the deal. Ellen Harper's logistics firm came next, her handshake firm after I pulled an all-nighter to save her contract. Those days, my pager buzzed non-stop, but every closed deal felt like a touchdown. Victor clapped my shoulder, called me his closer. I was untouchable. Home was different. Emily, my wife, 42, used to wait up, reheating lasagna when I dragged in past midnight. She'd tease, "You're married to those clients, Nate," her voice soft but laced with something heavier. I'd laugh, kiss her forehead, promise we'd take the kid to Yellowstone soon. Soon never came. My son grew up with me as a ghost, always at a client dinner, a trade show, or a red-eye to Chicago. Dad's working became his lullaby. I told myself it was for them, for the house, the college fund. Each promotion, each bonus made it feel true. Vantage grew from a $5 million operation to $35 million, my accounts driving half that haul. I thought I was building something permanent, but cracks showed. Emily stopped waiting up. The lasagna went cold. My son's games went unwatched. His trophy shelf filling without me. I'd catch Victor's eye in meetings, expecting a nod, but he'd look through me, distracted by bigger plans. Still, I pushed harder, inked 3-year deals, 5-year deals, turned clients into friends who texted me about their kids' graduations. I thought loyalty ran both ways. Now, driving past strip malls and neon signs, those memories sting like salt in a cut. Every sacrifice, every missed bedtime story was for a company that had discarded me like yesterday's news. The ache isn't just for me. It's for the version of Nathan who believed in Vantage, in Victor's promises. That guy's gone, buried under the weight of a betrayal I didn't see coming. My hands tighten on the wheel, the leather creaking. I'm not crying, not raging, just replaying those years, each one a brick in a house that was never mine. The road hums under my tires, leading me home, but my mind's still back there, sifting through the wreckage of a decade, wondering how I missed the signs that it was all falling apart. The highway drones beneath my truck, Kansas City's lights smearing into streaks as I head home. The sting of Vantage Solutions' betrayal still raw. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, and the memories of a decade's loyalty are souring fast, like milk left out too long. My mind's picking at the edges of something I didn't want to see before. Little signals, red flags that flickered in the corner of my eye, but never got my full attention. 6 months ago, when Gregory Holt swaggered in as VP, things started shifting, subtle as a snake coiling but just as dangerous. It began with the office overhaul. My desk, once front and center, got shunted to a dim corner by the copier. The kind of spot you stick an intern. I shrugged it off. Space was tight, right? But then my email stopped pinging with meeting invites. Big strategy sessions, the ones I used to lead, went on without me. I'd hear about them later, casual mentions in the break room, like I was already a ghost. My expense reports, always rubber-stamped before, came back with post-its. Clarify this lunch. Justify that flight. Pennies, but they added up, each one a jab to my pride. Then there was Clara Monroe, 27, Gregory's new hire, fresh from some tech startup with a smile too bright and a handshake too eager. She started tailing me on client calls, no explanation, just observing. I'd be mid-pitch with Samuel Klein, a steel magnate who'd known me for years, and Clara would chime in, tossing jargon like synergy that made Sam's eyes glaze over. After one call, Sam texted me, "What's with the rookie? You babysitting now?" I fired back a joke, but my stomach knotted. Something was off, like a car engine ticking before it fails. Gregory's new commission rules hit next, slashing my take by a quarter. I was still crushing my numbers, bringing in millions, but my checks shrank. When I asked why, he leaned back in his chair, all teeth and no warmth, and said, "Market's changing, Nate, gotta adapt." Adapt to what? I wanted to snap, but I didn't. I kept my cool, nodded, and walked away, the unease growing like rust on iron. My travel request started needing his sign-off, every trip a battle. Once my laptop logged me out during lunch, and I found IT had updated it without warning. Small cuts, but they bled. I should have seen it. The late-night calls from clients, the ones who'd text me about their daughter's wedding, were getting intercepted by Clara. I'd find out later, when they'd mention her follow-up emails. My role was being chipped away, piece by piece, and I let it slide, too busy closing deals to confront the pattern. Now, gripping the wheel, the truth claws at me. Vantage wasn't just changing, it was erasing me. The hurt's deep, not loud, a quiet bruise spreading under my skin. I pull into my driveway, the house dark, Emily at her sister's. I sit there, engine off, the silence loud with what I ignored. Those signs weren't random, they were a plan, and I was too loyal to call it out. But loyalty's a one-way street, and I'm done being roadkill. The truck's engine ticks in the quiet of my driveway, the dark house looming like a stranger's. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, freshly cut loose by Vantage Solutions, the company I poured a decade into, now exposed as a nest of snakes. The signs were there. Clara's shadowing, Gregory's penny-pinching, the sidelining, and they've hardened into a truth I can't ignore. I was set up to fall, but I'm not crumbling. Something's shifting inside, a cold, clear focus, like a hunter sighting prey. I grab my box of belongings and step inside, the silence of the empty house a canvas for my next move. I set the box on the kitchen counter, the photo of Emily and our son catching the moonlight. No time for regrets. I flip on a lamp, pour a glass of bourbon, the amber liquid steadying my hands. My laptop hums to life, and I pull up my employment contract, scrolling to the non-compete clause. It's toothless, only kicks in if I quit, not if they fire me. A small win, but it's blood in the water. I lean back, sipping the bourbon, its burn sharpening my edge. Vantage thinks they've neutered me, but they don't know what I've got. My personal phone's my arsenal. I open the contacts. 250 names, CEOs, decision-makers, people who trust me because I showed up for a decade. Marcus Tate, who invited me to his lake house. Ellen Harper, who sent a bottle of scotch when my son was born. Samuel Klein, who bets on my word over any contract. These aren't just clients. They're my network, built on handshakes and late-night favors, stored on my device, not Vantage's servers. Gregory never asked about my personal Rolodex. His mistake. I jot down 3 names on a legal pad. Marcus, Ellen, Samuel. Tomorrow I'll call them, not to pitch or plead, just to say I'm out. Let them draw their own conclusions. I don't need to push. Trust does the work. My mind's racing, but my moves are measured, like laying out tools for a job. I check. My email, half expecting a follow-up from Gregory, some corporate band-aid. Nothing. Good. I don't want their crumbs. Next, I text Owen Fletcher, a lawyer who owes me for helping his cousin's startup. Need you to review something. Breakfast tomorrow? He replies instantly. 7 a.m., diner on 5th. Owen Sharp knows employment law like a playbook. He'll confirm what I suspect. Vantage has no leash on me. I set the phone down. The bourbon glass empty now. The house creaks. Emily's absence a dull ache, but it's better she's not here. I need this clarity, this quiet to plan. The pain's still there. A low hum of anger at Vantage's double-cross, but it's fuel now. I'm not the guy who begs for his job back. I'm the guy who built their empire, and I'll be damned if I let them bury me. I rinse the glass, shut the laptop, and head upstairs. No alarm tonight. Tomorrow I start carving my way out of their mess, one careful step at a time. Vantage wanted a fight. They're about to get one, and I'm playing for keeps. I wake to the grey dawn, the empty house cold as a tomb. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, a man unmoored by Vantage Solutions' betrayal, my decade of loyalty reduced to a cardboard box. Last night I laid the groundwork, contacts ready, a lawyer lined up. But now as I brew coffee, my phone buzzes with a name I didn't expect. Lena Brooks, 34, my old assistant. Her text is curt. Call me. Urgent. My pulse quickens. Not from fear, but from instinct. Something's about to break wide open and I'm ready to catch it. I dial her number, the coffee forgotten. Lena's voice is hushed like she's hiding in a closet. Nathan, it's worse than you think, she says, words tumbling fast. Vantage is selling to Apex partners. They've been planning it for months, but Apex didn't want you. They wanted your clients without you tied to them. My grip tightens on the phone, knuckles blanching. This isn't just a firing, it's a surgical strike. The truth lands like a sledgehammer, cracking open the facade of Vantage's realignment. They didn't just want me gone. They wanted to steal what I built and hand it to strangers. Lena keeps talking, her voice a lifeline to the conspiracy. I saw the emails, she whispers. Apex sent execs to meet Marcus Tate and Ellen Harper, posing as consultants. They've been sniffing around your accounts since January, asking how dependent the deals were on you. My jaw locks, a cold fury pooling in my chest. Those late-night texts from clients, the ones Clara intercepted, suddenly make sense. Vantage wasn't prepping me for a demotion. They were carving me out, piece by piece, to make my relationships a corporate asset. The betrayal cuts deeper than I thought possible, not just a knife, but a chainsaw, shredding every ounce of trust I had. I pace the kitchen, the linoleum creaking under my boots. Lena's words paint a picture uglier than I imagined. Victor Ramsey, the CEO I once toasted beers with, greenlit this. He sat in his corner office, nodding along while Apex plotted to gut my life's work. The anger's not hot, it's glacial, sharpening my focus like a blade on a whetstone. I think of Marcus, who trusted me with his company's future, and Ellen, who called me when her son graduated. They weren't just clients, they were my people, and Vantage tried to poach them behind my back. Nathan, you didn't hear this. From me, Lena says, voice cracking. But Apex is pulling out unless Vantage delivers your accounts clean. I nod, though she can't see, the pieces snapping into place. They underestimated me, thought I'd slink away, tail between my legs. My mind's already racing to the diner, to Owen Fletcher, who'll arm me with legal ammo. The pain's still there, a raw wound, but it's driving me now, fueling a plan I'm only starting to see. I hang up, the silence deafening. The coffee's cold, but I don't care. Vantage didn't just fire me. They tried to erase me, to sell. My legacy like it was office furniture. I grab my keys, the weight of Lena's words settling in. They wanted a clean break. They're about to get a war instead, and I'm just getting started. The diner's neon sign buzzes as I push through the door, Lena's bombshell still searing my brain. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, betrayed by Vantage Solutions, who schemed to sell my life's work to Apex partners. The revelation that they plotted to strip my clients and erase me ignites a fire, not wild but precise, like a welder's torch. I slide into a booth across from Owen Fletcher, my lawyer, his grey hair catching the morning light. I'm not here to vent. I'm here to rig the game, and Vantage is about to step into my crosshairs. Owen sips his coffee, eyes narrowing as I lay out Lena's intel. They can't lock you out, he says, voice gravelly, flipping through my contract. No non-compete. For termination. You're free to work, Nathan. I nod, the legal green light a spark in my plan. I don't need to steal clients. I just need to let them see Vantage's true face. I pull out my phone, thumbing to the contacts I guarded like gold. 3 calls will start the dominoes falling. Marcus Tate, Ellen Harper, Samuel Klein. Not to recruit, just to inform. Back home, I sit at the dining table, the house still empty with Emily gone. I dial Marcus first, his number burned into my memory from years of fishing trips. Hey, Marcus, I say, voice even as steel. I'm out at Vantage, effective yesterday. Gregory Holt or Clara Monroe will handle your account now. Silence. Then Marcus growls, Clara, the kid who butchered our last call. I stay quiet, letting his gears turn. Who's running this circus, he demands. Your move, man, I reply, hanging up. Ellen and Samuel get the same call, same script. No push, no pitch. Just the truth, sharp and clean. I lean back, the chair creaking. The hurt still there, a deep bruise from Vantage's double deal, but it's morphing into something else. Control. I'm not begging for scraps. I'm setting a trap, letting Vantage's own arrogance spring it. They think Clara, with her buzzwords and fake smile, can hold my clients. They think Apex can waltz in and claim what I built. I picture Gregory, in his glass office, clueless, and Victor, too busy chasing stock prices to notice the cliff they're on. My lips twitch, not quite a smile, but close. I text Owen again. Any way they can block my clients from following me? His reply is swift. Not legally. Their contracts allow termination for change in management. Keep it clean. I do. No emails, no paper trail, just phone calls, personal, the way I've always worked. The trap's invisible, woven. From trust, Vantage never earned. Marcus, Ellen, Samuel, they're not just accounts, they're people who know my words ironclad. Vantage is about to learn what happens when you betray that. The phone stays silent for now, but I feel the tension, like a bowstring pulled taut. The pain of their scheme still gnaws, but it's fuel, driving each calculated step. I stand, stretch, and glance at the clock. Noon. By tomorrow, the first ripples will hit, and Vantage won't see them coming. I'm not fighting for revenge. I'm fighting for what's mine. They wanted to play dirty. I'm just giving them the board they chose. The morning sun cuts through my kitchen blinds, sharp as a blade. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, a man Vantage Solutions tried to bury. But my calls yesterday, calm, surgical, lit a fuse. I sip black coffee, the mug warm in my hands, when my phone vibrates. Marcus Tate's name flashes. Nathan, he says. Voice like gravel. We're done with Vantage. Sent the termination notice an hour ago. Clara's a joke. Before I can respond, Ellen Harper's email pings. Contract cancelled. You're our guy, not them. Samuel Klein follows, his text blunt. Vantage is out. Where you at? The dominoes I nudged are crashing, and Vantage's house of cards is folding fast. By noon, my inbox is a war zone. 9 major clients, $4 million in annual revenue, have ditched Vantage, citing management changes. My lawyer, Owen Fletcher, warned me to keep it clean, and I did. No pitches, no bribes, just truth. The trust I built over a decade, the kind Vantage thought they could steal, is pulling the rug out from under them. My chest tightens, not with joy, but with a grim satisfaction, like watching a bully trip on his own ego. The betrayal's wound still festers. Vantage's plot to sell my work to Apex partners a fresh scar. But this is justice, cold and undeniable. Lena Brooks, my old assistant, texts from the eye of the storm. Boardroom's a circus. Gregory's. Screaming, Victor's pale as death. I can see it. Gregory Holt, the slick VP, flailing to explain why his new blood plan imploded. Victor Ramsey, the CEO who greenlit my ousting, staring at a plummeting stock ticker. Apex Partners, Lena adds, yanked their buyout offer, spooked by the client exodus. Vantage's shares tank 15% by lunch, the financial news buzzing like vultures. I don't smile. I just sit, coffee cooling, watching their empire crack like cheap glass. Victor's voicemail comes next, his tone frayed. Nathan, we need to talk. Help us stabilize this. I let it play, his desperation a faint echo of my own hurt days ago. I don't call back. He wanted me gone to appease Apex, thought he could swap me for a kid with a PowerPoint. Now his dream deal's dust, and I'm the ghost haunting his boardroom. The pain of their deception, months of Apex execs sniffing around my clients disguised as consultants, still burns, but it's tempered by this moment. I didn't force anyone to leave Vantage, I just let them see the truth, and they chose. Stand, boots heavy on the hardwood, and walk to the window. Kansas City's skyline glints indifferent. My phone keeps buzzing, more clients, more notices, but I mute it. The turmoil's still there, a low hum of anger at how Vantage played me, but it's not chaos anymore. It's purpose. I didn't need to scream or sue. I just stepped back and let their greed do the work. Owen's meeting me later to map next steps, but for now I'm still, the weight of their collapse settling like ash. Vantage thought they'd write my ending. They just handed me the pen. The Kansas City skyline fades into dusk, a jagged silhouette against the bruised sky. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, standing at my window, the fallout of Vantage Solutions' collapse still ringing in my ears. Their clients, my clients, walked. Their stock crashed, and their Apex Partners deal turned to smoke. My phone's quiet now. The storm of notifications settled, but the weight of Vantage's treachery lingers, a dull ache in my bones. I didn't orchestrate their ruin. I just let their lies catch up. Now it's time to cut the cord for good. A courier drops off an envelope as I'm heating leftovers. It's from Victor Ramsey, the CEO who sold me out. His handwriting's shaky, the note brief. Nathan, I misjudged. Chose a deal over loyalty. I'd value a chance to make it right over coffee. I read it twice, the words heavy as lead. Once I'd have jumped at his call, the guy who hired me, shared beers, promised a future. Now his apology feels like a tardy condolence card, too late to matter. I fold the paper, tuck it into a drawer, no coffee, no closure. Vantage isn't my story anymore. I step onto the porch, the evening air crisp, smelling of cut grass and distant rain. The hurt's still there, a raw edge from how they schemed to hand my life's work to Apex. But it's not rage now, it's resolve. I pull out my phone, scroll to Marcus Tate's number. Marcus, I say when he picks up, voice steady as a tightrope. Thanks for sticking with me. He chuckles, rough but warm. Wasn't about Vantage, Nate. It's you we trust. I hang up, the words landing like a lifeline. That's the difference. I built relationships. Vantage chased transactions. I don't need Victor's regret or Gregory Holt's excuses. They made their play, thought they could swap me for a rookie and cash out. The ache of their deceit. Execs sniffing around my clients, plotting while I was still in the game. Hasn't faded, but it's not chaining me down. I'm done carrying their baggage. My lawyer, Owen Fletcher, already confirmed I'm untouchable, free to start fresh. Vantage's collapse isn't my victory lap. It's their reckoning, and I'm walking away clean. The stars prick through the twilight, sharp and unyielding. I think of Emily, still at her sister's, and our son, probably glued to his Xbox. I'll call them tomorrow. Start rebuilding what Vantage cost me. Time, presence, moments I traded for a company that didn't care. The turmoil's there, a quiet scar, but it's not despair. It's clarity. I don't need to prove anything to Victor or the suits who burned me. My worth's in the clients who followed, the life I'll shape on my terms. I head inside, lock the door, and kill the lights. The house feels less hollow now, like it's waiting for me to fill it with something real. Vantage was a chapter, not the book. I'm not theirs anymore, and that's enough. Tomorrow, I'll meet Owen, chart the next move, but tonight I'm just a man letting go. They wanted me broken. I'm standing taller than ever. The morning sun spills across my new office at Horizon Group. a corner suite with a view that humbles Kansas City's sprawl. I'm Nathan Caldwell, 44, a man Vantage Solutions tried to crush, now rising from their ashes. Their betrayal, scheming to pawn my clients to Apex partners, left a mark, but I've shed their weight. I'm not just surviving. I'm forging a life that's mine, built on trust and grit, not corporate games. The scar of their deceit lingers, but it's a reminder, not a chain. I lean back in my chair, the leather creaking, and survey the space. A photo of Emily and our son at a Chiefs game sits on the desk, their grins grounding me. I joined Horizon as a vice president with a stake in the game, equity, not just a paycheck. 12 of my old clients followed, bringing $6 million in revenue, not because I begged, but because they valued my handshake over Vantage's logos. Marcus Tate signed first, his contract inked over a steak dinner. Ellen Harper and Samuel Klein came next, their loyalty a quiet rebuke to Vantage's collapse. I've hired a team, young but hungry, and set them up with profit sharing. No one here will be discarded like I was. The pain of Vantage's plot still hums, a low current of anger at how they tried to rewrite my legacy. But it's fuel now, driving me to do better. Last night I took my son to his basketball practice, cheering from the bleachers instead of catching a flight. Emily's back home and we're planning a weekend at the lake, something I'd have cancelled before. These moments, small but solid, are my new foundation. Horizon's growth, 34% since I started, mirrors my own. I'm not chasing validation. I'm building something real, piece by deliberate piece. My phone pings with a news alert. Vantage is shuttering its downtown office, moving to a strip mall in the burbs. I don't gloat. Their downfall was their own doing. A lesson in what happens when you trade people for profit. I close the app, the past fading like a bad dream. The turmoil's still there, a faint echo of Vantage's knife in my back, but it's drowned out by purpose. I'm not the guy who trusted too long. I'm the man who learned, adapted, and came out stronger. I stand, adjust the photo frame, and glance at the skyline. This city's seen me fall and rise, and I'm not done yet. I've got plans, new clients to chase, a team to mentor, a family to show up for. The silence isn't empty, it's space to grow. Vantage thought they'd break me. Instead, they cleared the way for something better. What about you? Have you ever been blindsided by a betrayal, at work, in life, and had to rebuild from the ground up? How did you turn pain into power, or what's holding you back? Share your story or your thoughts. I'm listening, because we all fight these battles, and every comeback counts.